It does not lag.
Will this also like then post, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'm hoping that it posts right away. Okay,
All right,
I
we're
actually
going.
see it up. All right.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay, so first test run of this. Let's hope for no technical issues. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome out to Cavs Encapsulated post-game pulse. I'm going to tweet out our link really quickly to our Twitter following to make sure that, oh, nice. Our thumbnail is our header, which is just the city of Cleveland. So that is so fun. We're going to have to work through this, but guys, 111-85 victory. And even if, nobody pops up into the chat, oh, we already have people. Nice. Spencer, DF, our buddy Derek, Spencer. Welcome how's it going, guys? 111-85 finish here. A great performance, a performance that was much needed in Miami. Logan, I know that you're always ready with statistics and what you want to talk about. So I'm going to let you guide the itinerary at the outset.
Well, first off, guys, my Cleveland cold has kind of subsided back in the warm weather of Austin, Texas. But cheering on my Cavaliers naturally. Yeah, this was a shorthanded Heat team. We know that. Let's not go ahead and beat around the bush. This was a shorthanded Heat team. But they always have that Heat culture, right? Kind of one of those teams that are tough to beat, have always been instilled with toughness, most of their franchise's history. I think it goes back to Pat Riley. They got great coaching with Eric Spoelstra. And for a couple moments in the game, they definitely hung with us. They definitely, went on a few runs. But the Cavaliers made the right runs at the right time. And those are the ends of the quarter runs. 18-4 run to finish that third quarter. We can go in all kinds of, individual numbers. I'm sure we'll get to that as we continue to talk about this. But the thing that I liked hearing was from Eric Reed, the Heat television play-by-play guy. He said, you have to admire the new and improved Cavaliers. I think if you're the NBA, if you're a basketball fan, you don't have these Cavaliers, on your radar, I would start hopping on now. Because, this team is a lot of fun to watch. I don't want to go too much into the stats. We're going to get to that as we go. And also, I want to save a few of my highlights, few of the stats as we go. But just an all-around satisfying 111-85 victory tonight.
For sure. It's I'm glad you were watching the Miami broadcast, because I was hearing some stuff about how on the last opposing team we played, their broadcast might have been talking a little smack. So I'm glad that Miami was giving us some of the love. Justin, what is going on? What I like about us is that you guys who are out there watching, you got to understand that we're in a group chat too, and we text the whole game. Yeah. And Justin is very quiet, very tactical with his responses,
very much so.
Which is good because it's underrated in the sense that me and Logan kind of know exactly what we're going to say, almost to each other. We have like a little bit of an outline, and Justin's this wild card that pops in, and he's just ready to go. So I'm always excited to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, well, basketball's your guys is floored, but I like to have my moments every now and then. But man,
let's talk about Darius Garland. Why not, Justin? Talk about your guy.
No, I'm not even going to get into that right away. Even though everyone had a really good game, I think in the terms of the starters. But boys, I've been talking about how the Cavs haven't been getting any calls for the past like 10 games, and we come into this game and we're getting calls that I don't even agree with. Like, it was nuts to watch some of these calls like happen. And I was, Kyle Lowry, coming from Toronto over to Miami. I feel bad for that dude in the position he's in with this, with this dismantled team as of right now. Obviously, they're a better team with their players, but man, were some of those calls really bad, but I'll take them. Obviously, like Logan was going on about, a very, misled kind of score box, because obviously Jimmy Butler, Bam, not playing tonight, but again, we'll take the win. We would have wished known some of the injuries before we made our predictions yesterday, but
true.
I'll take this good start to the 4-game trip.
I was gonna say, we look like idiots right now, all three of us, about the Heat game.
Well, I said hopefully we keep it. I would love for the winning streak to continue, but they were keeping that Bam news kind of bottled up. We got some more people flowing into the live stream. Do champs rook? That's what I'm going to go with. What is going on? What is going on? Tall ball in effect. Huge win. And our boy, our buddy, another St. Ed's alum, Zachary Hunter in the chat, which I believe Spencer is also an SCHS alum. So we got some home cooking tonight. Love it in Miami. Mobley equals dad. Let's talk about the three bigs, because I think that the three bigs lineup is something that has never been seen by the NBA, where you have three competent, we round up, I believe Jared Allen's only 6'11", but we have three competent 7-footers. And I do not think that JB Bickerstaff showed his hand in preseason on how that was going to work. They play, to me, watching this game, and it's weird when we have big leads, but they actually play on the court less together than I thought that they would. And that's kind of how I like it. I don't have official stats, how many minutes they play actually in tandem, but they each play this significant role. And Logan, which you said it, I think in our text, Markkanen was not very good tonight, and we completely destroyed the Heat. Of course, down men, but it's okay. So talk about the three big men for a minute.
Well, Coach Bickerstaff makes me look dumber by the podcast. I'll say that much. I've been a big, non-supporter of the three big lineup, but they're making it work. And I think, like you said, Jeff, it comes back to, are you playing him in the right spurts, in the right moments? He always does. You talk about that front court. Talk about overall, we had 14 blocks as a team tonight, rather. Mobley and Allen, our starting front court. Tower City combined for 9 of those 14. I mean, it seemed like anytime Miami started getting it going from the outside, they're like, let's test the limits inside. Don't do that. Don't do that against the Cavaliers, plain and simple. You talk about Evan Mobley, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks. Jared Allen, 19 and 11, 5 blocks to add on, rather. Darius Garland tonight, 16 points, 7 assists. Kevin Love, though. How about another big? Let's talk him. While Mobley and Allen are dominating inside, sometimes Mobley stretches it out a little bit. Love, 22 points tonight, 6 rebounds, and even had 2 steals and a block. He had some really good team defense, really good help defense. 6 of 8 from downtown, kind of one of those vintage Kevin Love performances. I mean, all around, the bigs led the way, but the guards knew how to also put the bigs in the right positions, and that's kind of been the Cavaliers' forte this year, is working it inside, then finding a way outside, but you always come back down underneath the basket. And I think the Cavaliers did that to a T tonight against a shorthanded Heat team.
Justin, what a performance by Kevin Love, someone who I'm glad Logan brought that up, because I forget that he's technically a big as well. But for two people who we will openly admit, go back, watch our preseason expectations. I did a whole standalone video on how Kevin Love might be the worst contract in sports. Still probably true. Kristaps Porzingis is giving, Dallas a run for their money, stealing checks over there. We saw that the other night. But a vintage, one of those where he had 34 points in the first quarter in the first half. But I'm glad tonight he didn't go away. He was relevant in both halves.
Yeah. It's really interesting when you think about it. Honestly, the part that I want to talk about more than just Kevin is the bench in general. The bench is phenomenal. One night it's Chetty, one night it's Ricky, one night it's Kevin. It doesn't really matter which one it is, but you can always count on one of those guys kind of giving you a little bit of a boost off the bench in comparison to, we have the starting lineup, and yes, we have our consistent guys, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, and even Evan Mobley, who I think, we'll talk about him later, but his assertiveness in the second half is just something to be, really remarked and really talked about. But yeah, Kevin Love really finding his groove coming off the bench, and with kind of a lesser role than what we've been probably trying to force upon him. Maybe he's feeling a little bit better about that now that he's not having the weight of the world, or at least the weight of Cleveland without LeBron James on his shoulders.
Yeah, moving over to our chat room really quickly.
Questions we can answer.
Rook, have you guys been watching post-game interviews with players? Team is mellow and settled and confident, fun basketball to watch. I think Darius Garland's post-game and, just his media stuff is great. He seems really confident. They're talking about it on the broadcast. Moohead Radio in the building, a fellow Cleveland sports fan, someone who covers the Browns quite closely in this live stream landscape. recommends checking out StreamYard. I know that Derek uses StreamYard, and I know that it is more broadcast oriented, but at the moment we are glomming off of free Zoom University for the you actually cannot do this if you have a free Zoom account. So
Interesting.
The graduate level course being a lot of Zoom classes helping out here. Thanks, John Carroll University. Marketing didn't play well, but K-Love stepped up. Big facts. Never though, I'd say to this, really like the vets, Love and Rubio coming off the bench. The bench, Justin hitting on the bench. Who would have thought Kevin Love in whatever year he's in is a bench player? And we were I'm going to keep bringing up. We talk about today, our upload, Ricky Rubio, 6th man of the year. I don't expect Kevin Love to have performances like that the rest of the year, but it's almost to the point where that's kind of the nice thing. It's like I blinked and he was 5 for 6 from 3, and I was like getting all excited because we have some bench firepower. And Logan and I were talking about this before going live. This is the beauty of the rebuild, where patience pays off, because we have these players who are, of course, Kevin Love is overpaid. He's never going to live up to that contract, but he's a veteran. He's a guy with finals experience. Look way down the road and think about the playoffs for this team. We have someone with experience who's been to the postseason. We have players, Lamar Stevens, Logan. I know you want to touch on him really quick. Let's talk about Lamar Stevens' impact off the bench.
Tonight, 12 points for Lamar Stevens. You talked about Kevin Love couldn't believe, the performance he had. I couldn't believe Lamar Stevens reached double digits, but beyond the 12 points he put in, he knocked down 2 triples. I don't know who's been working with him, but he changed up his shot a little bit. He puts that right foot forward a little bit more. Maybe it gives him a little more of that momentum going to the basket, which helps out with that deeper shot. But his defense was terrific today. I think he had a block or two. He had one on Hero that was really nice in that baseline, how he was able to, take the ball fake from Hero, stay with him on the escape dribble, and then get the block up top. He's always been a very good energy, defensive minded guy. He's in a stacked, bench now, and he's never gonna be the guy that you want dribbling the ball more than 3 times. I think you get, like I said with Jetty a couple of years ago, I still get panic attacks when he puts it on the floor. But I think he can be a nice guy that's just cutting to the basket, who can certainly defend very well. And really, in a lot of ways, he's a lesser Isaac Okoro in a lot of ways. And I might not be saying much because Okoro, we've talked about how he's probably not going to live to that number 5 pick, but he is just a lockdown defender, both of these guys. Okoro really did a nice job today as well. I kind of saw similarities in both the way Stevens and Okoro, approached this game. They were staying out of the way, cutting when they had to. When a loose ball was there, they're running it down, taking it down the other way, and starting the offense early. And that was the Cavaliers. That's the biggest thing. Those wings have done a great job of going for those 50-50 balls, including the guards as well, and then taking it the other way. I don't know what it was, but I know at some point in the half, we had 11 fast break points to the Miami 0. And a lot of those were started off blocks. A lot of those were started off guys just wanting the ball more on a 50-50 balls. Just a lot to like, because, yes, this was an injured team. We talked, and I don't want to keep hampering it and keep talking about it. Yes, the first step to being a good team is beat the team you're supposed to beat, for sure. Miami, though, is still one of those teams that is tough to beat, and we haven't won a Miami in a century. So going out there and just having the energy, not playing down to the competition, that's something we haven't seen from the Cavaliers, minus LeBron. We've had 7 losing seasons without LeBron James in a row, going back as far as that. And I think the big reason is because they're down on themselves. These Cavaliers aren't down on themselves. In fact, if anything, they're more confident. And kind of going back to that comment, I forget who said it earlier. Like if we're watching the post-game interviews, I see him a lot on Twitter usually. Yeah. Garland, every single time these guys are kind of photobombing each other. Yep. And Rubio had that 3-time clap, whatever they got going on. It's a great locker room, a great team to be around. And honestly, guys, it's been a lot of fun to watch these Cavaliers. I find myself liking this Cavaliers team in a way, not more than the championship team, but it has like that similar feel, because the championship team is like, here I go, I'm on one of my rants, guys. Bear with me, I'm almost done. Those championship teams we expect to win. They usually do win. This team found a way to build to the draft, get the right guys in, get the right culture, and that somehow is more rewarding in a way. Can they keep it up? Remains to be seen. But as of right now, 12-10 through 22, there's a lot to like.
It's interesting. It really is, because this team on paper is really anchored by the rookies, or not the rookies, but the people on rookie deals still. because they played the most basketball together, and Colin Sexton hasn't even been out there. But if you think about it, Garland and Okoro, they've played a considerable amount of possessions together offensively and defensively. Mobley's getting into the mix now. We have some other people from prior draft classes. Dean Wade, who didn't even play. Dean Wade and Chetty Osman didn't even play for us tonight. It's obviously that is not the Bam and Jimmy Butler combo. It's definitely not on that level. But as Justin was saying earlier, Chetty is a guy who could have played a Kevin Love role tonight, 5 or 6 or however many from 3-point land, and really giving us that spark off the bench. And I want to just really highlight that besides those guys, Rubio, first year on the team, Jared Allen really hasn't been there really hasn't been here for this long. Markkanen, new guy on the team. Kevin Love is the anchor off the bench, which we really do enjoy. We saw tonight, which he's been a pleasant surprise in some games. But Justin, I want to talk to you about how this team comes together when it was the third quarter. They go through these droughts, which we didn't see it in the Mavs game, which was a huge bonus, huge plus. They go through these droughts where we just seem we turning the ball over and we can't score. And they came together. We got fouled and they came together in a huddle and they talked. And after that, it was smooth sailing. But how has this team responded through the eyes of adversity, in your opinion?
Well, a lot of that starts with the Bickerstaff timeouts. We've talked about in our Cavs Encapsulated that he's done a really good job with when opposing teams get on runs, he calls the guys in together, gets them situated and tells them, hey, whatever the play is, we got to run through it. Sometimes they run into these little stints where guys are just holding the ball a little bit too long. They're not setting the screens that they usually do where they get open shots. And, they regather themselves and just kind of play what they know and play what's well. So they're really good at facing adversity. But even this third quarter, the Miami Heat went on a run, but we still ended up outscoring them in this third quarter, which phenomenal job again from a lot of our players. Evan Mobley, like I was alluding to earlier, scored 15 points, right? Is that right?
I think 15? That's right in the third quarter.
Yep.
Yeah, 15 points in the third quarter after not scoring in the first half. I mean, that's how you can tell that kid's going to be an all-star one day, is the fact that he misses 3 or 4 shots in the first half, doesn't score a bucket, but he comes back out and he's assertive and he's aggressive. First shot he takes is a 3-ball. Next shot he takes is I think is a layup.
Turnaround baseline. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then the third shot is a 3. I mean, the kid just doesn't care that if he's not knocking it down in the first half, he can come back and knock it down in the second half. And I think that's, it shows his assertiveness and the thought process that, hey, even if I'm down a little bit, I can get right back into it.
And Justin, I wanted to add on to that point, honestly. I talked to you guys in the group chat. I said that Mobley's taking this PJ Tucker matchup personally. They're going back and forth a little bit in that third quarter. You don't see a rookie very often look at one of the absolute dogs in the league, one of the veterans, one of the hard-nosed defenders, PJ Tucker, well-respected in the NBA. I'm a big fan of his as well. He went right at him as a rookie, knowing he had 0 points, knowing he wasn't shooting well from the field. He picked up right where he left off before his injury and started showing that insane touch that we've seen. He was confident shooting the ball. He wanted the ball, which is, already one thing in and of itself. A lot to like from the rookie. I think we're going to get real annoying talking about Evan Mobley, but
I love it.
I don't care. I mean, this is the best rookie we've had since Kyrie. And this guy has the chance to be a generational talent. Health stays, where it's at. We always pray for that. But like I said, I just love the way that he approached that second half and didn't even flinch after that, first half performance where he's trying to get his, legs underneath them.
All right, couple things here. Fool Am 1 is in the building. If you know, you know, and it calls for grounds. Bingo, bango, add moderator. Fool Am 1 is the first moderator to the live stream. Just throwing that out there. 26-point win over number 3 in the East. He always is bringing it's just the truth. It's just facts. Who cares who's out for them? I really don't. They're going to have trouble, though. I mean, Bam's out 6 weeks. That's no good. Injuries. Tough. It's a mess in the NBA. I think we forget how many games are actually played in the NBA. But back to our Cleveland Cavaliers, and we're all over the place. This isn't
supposed to be structured.
This is an instant reaction. We're only talking about this game. We're gonna have to maybe flex how we discuss this and how we do it in the Tuesday show. But because I kind of kicked it off with this, but I'm going back to it. Mobley and Jarrett Allen, there was legitimate questions in preseason from when we drafted him. And I think that if you're the Rockets front office, if you're Detroit, your hands are basically tied. You have to go Cade Cunningham regardless. If you're the Rockets front office, Jalen Green coming out of the G League, maybe a more explosive, bouncier, kind of like an Anthony Edwards type of player who is going to be an explosive rookie for you. But you look at their roster and they have Christian Wood. So if you're in the Rockets front office, a major concern might have been, is Evan Mobley going to work with Christian Wood? It's a genuine question. Kobe, I think there was questions with that too, but he had to go Mobley with 3 here, which is the best part of the whole season, is that he basically had to go Mobley there. There was really no other pick from his, scouting coming out of college. But the question is Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley going to work? They don't even play on both sides of the floor. They really don't even play at the same level of basketball. Jarrett Allen is right on underneath the rim, and Evan Mobley is really a mid-range perimeter player who he could run the floor, he could slash for dunks. Same way on the defensive side of the ball. Jarrett Allen is going to block you right in the post. Evan Mobley is going to block you at the elbow. He's going to block you at the half circle. He's going to do it all there. And that has what's been really impressive to me is that how many games of these guys, what have they played? Mobley's missed 4 games. They've only played 16, 17 games together. 28. It looks like they've been playing for 4 or 5 years on the court together on both sides of the floor. So whoever wants to run with that, I'd be my guest.
Well, yeah, Rockets didn't take the risk. I think Jalen Green still made the most sense for them at number 2. But now what? I think they have Alfred Şengün playing, extended minutes down low with Christian Wood. I could be wrong about that. I don't follow the Rockets enough, but I know that he's been playing quite a few minutes for them. They could have tried to have their own version of the Twin Towers with Wood and Mobley, and they still have Kevin Porter Jr. out there on the wing who can, would basically be your Jalen Green of the future. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Jeff, the best part about our draft pick is there was no second questioning. There wasn't, if we don't take this guy, what are we going to miss out on that guy? It was Evan Mobley from day one. We were worried that Jay Biggerstaff was going to mess that up. He did, or not Jay Biggerstaff, or that Kobe Altman was going to mess that up. We took the risk. We're reaping the rewards. I think that's the way it goes. Like I said, the Heat broadcaster Eric Reed said you have to, love what this new improved Cavaliers team is doing. Evan Mobley is a giant reason for that. He has completely flipped the script. I mean, since he returned from injury, what are we looking at? Are we 2-1 or 2-0 since he returned? 2-3. I don't remember.
3-0.
3-0. Yeah,
Magic Dallas tonight.
That's right. Yeah, 3-0 since Mobley came back. He just makes that immediate impact. He's one of those guys that you'll look at the box score and you'll be very impressed, and you'll fail to realize he had 16 and a half contested shots a game, which leads the NBA. The next best is Gobert at 14 and a half. Rudy Gobert, that ring a bell to anybody? That just tells you how good this guy can be. Evan Mobley on both sides of the ball and in the empty box score.
You talk about him on the defensive side of the ball. I just got to say, going back to his 2 threes that he had in the third quarter, man, does his length just remind me of Kevin Durant? Obviously, he's not as skilled at shooting the ball and everything, but can you imagine anybody, if he refines that 3 just a little bit more, his jump shot a little bit more, what player is going to be able to defend the man? The dude's 7 foot tall. No one's going to be able to get the hand up in to even block it, maybe get a hand in his face. But the looks that he gets, like by the time he's up in the air, the dude's got a stroke, and it's actually really beautiful for a guy his size.
And confidence, and quickly, Logan, it was a halftime stat, I believe, because I believe it was before the third quarter. This is, and his stats that impressed me will pile up the rest of the year. I believe the stat was he had 39 blocks through the season at the halftime of this game. He only had 39 personal fouls. He's in the top 10 in blocks in the league for a rookie, and he's the only person in the top 10 who has the same amount or less some sort of ratio in personal fouls. So they talk about on the broadcast, he blocks the ball stays in bounds, and then, he doesn't foul people. So good luck with that. And the confidence, the confidence is what you're trying to talk about, but and I didn't mean to burst your bubble there, Logan, but
go for it.
Let's pile in the Heat and some of these other teams, because this is just a little theory. I think teams who play other teams, they just don't see the type of defensive pressure we bring. And it startles teams in the first quarter, in the first half, that the Cavs actually play coherent, coachable defense, and they don't see that. The NBA it hasn't been known for defense for 5 years, I'd say, maybe longer than that. Maybe for a while it has been known for defense. So you see these teams, you see Miami, they didn't get into it, on TV, but Kyle Lowry picks up a technical foul from the bench. These teams get super frustrated with us. You have to guard us on when you're playing defense. And then we were doing a great job, on the perimeter with Tyler Hero, down low with Tyler Hero. The whole game, we did a good job on him, I thought. So how has the confidence looked on both sides of the equation? The Cavs on one end, and then who we're playing to you, Logan?
Oh, we're pests. I mean, we really are. We are absolutely in everybody's head. We're kind of like that annoying fly that you can't swat away. It just will always find its way back to you. And that's what I love. I really do love that. But yeah, that's an interesting question there, Jeff, because I think teams come in thinking this is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to eventually burn out. Or, we've seen them get off to nice starts in their seasons before, but eventually they're going to come back down to earth. Guys, we're 22 in. We're currently first in the Eastern Conference in opponent points per game. Second overall in the NBA in that statistic. Yes, it doesn't tell the whole story. I know that. Sometimes you catch teams on a bad night. I think Miami missed a lot of open shots today. But a lot of teams will miss those open shots because you're making every other shot attempt before that so freaking difficult. When you get them, when you're making them work so hard for their points, it does more than just, I put up a nice hand and they missed. It's, I'm frustrating the heck out of this guy because he can't get it going. Duncan Robinson, 0 of 7 tonight. He had 69 straight games.
He's struggling.
He had 69 straight games.
That's right.
Pointer made, and he did not get one tonight, guys. He had 2 open looks. I think every other one was fairly well contested. It gets into your head. It plays with your mind a little bit. And I think teams, when they go into the locker room at halftime and they're down 7, down 10, or even just up 5 against a Cleveland team that they thought they were better than, it gets to you mentally. And this game will always be as much as physical as, okay, I shouldn't say that. Let's not kid ourselves. Certainly is a lot physical, but that mental aspect in those last couple of minutes, the Cavaliers are so mentally strong, especially in close games, especially in closeout games, because they've felt the sting of a loss in a close one, and they have felt the triumph of a win in a close one. They have felt it all. They've had a very good sample size and a lot of, good experience through 22 games. So now they're settling into their mojo. Now they're settling into who they are. And if I'm an opposing NBA coach, I would scout the Cavaliers a little more than I think they are right now.
Man, love it. Bringing the fiery energy and
I'm
passion.
coming with everything right now. I mean, this is the joy of post-game pulse, because you can just this is what I saw. This is what I've been seeing, but I can, do it while I'm still in game mode.
That's a great point too, because it was widely documented that we are one of the better 3-point defending teams in the league. And I did see them flash that Duncan Robinson stat pregame. And then he was struggling. He's been struggling in Miami, but he misses all of his threes. Justin, I need a reaction to this. In 2021 NBA basketball, we are, what are we, 12-10?
12-10.
We're 12-10. We're 22 games in. 10 out of 22 games, we've held opponents to less than 100 points, nearly half of the games. How are you feeling about that?
Well, you go back and look when Evan went out. The last game he was in, less than 100 points. Every game
3 in a row.
Then,
yep.
100+ points for opponents. We lose a lot of those games. Comes back the next 3 games. Opponents under 100 points, we win. It's really a recipe that, this Cavs team is just rocking with right now, and it's phenomenal. The other thing that I noticed a lot of, and for a lot of this game, it irked me until I realized why it was going on. Darius Garland and other guards on our team, instead of going underneath picks, they go above them to try to force the team to take twos. They're okay with guys driving in because they know Jared Allen and Evan Mobley and Lauri Markkanen are in there waiting for
second
them.
Line of defense.
It's incredible, and it's actually so like when I was watching it, because they were obviously down so much and they kept going over, I was like, they're gonna get a free bucket cutting in, or someone's gonna cut in and they're gonna pass it off. But those two guys in the middle, they're just waiting there. They know how to play that perfect defense and just contest shots in a way that we're okay with letting guys drive in and just kind of get, what they can get.
And it's so weird because back to the bigs, back to all the 7-footers, 6'10", 6'11ers on this team. It's almost to the point where other teams are trying to put the wrong piece into a puzzle that is their offensive game plan, and it just doesn't work, and they're not realizing it because we're at the point in the NBA landscape where even during the broadcast, they said Miami's made 14 threes tonight. They've only made 12 twos. Everyone knows that's analytics, though. Everyone knows that if we could defend the 3-point line and we could defend down low, there is a shrinking sample size of players in the league who make twos. And you've actually seen those guys burn us logically. So, I complain about getting burned all the time, but Devin Booker is a guy who takes, he's a pretty good mid-range shooter. He burned us. Mid-range shooters are going to have that's the most success you're going to get against this team. If you could stop in between our point guards or in between our guards and in between our big men and pull up. And Miami, Butler probably helps a lot with that. Believe it or not, they did not have anyone like that tonight. They had guys down low and they had Hero taking threes and Duncan Robinson taking threes. That's not going to work. We're going to blow you out. And what is fun about this team, and Logan, I'm throwing it over. I think us three are pretty realistic fans in the sense where if we were bullying, if we've played Detroit 3 or 4 times and we've played Orlando 3 or 4 times and we've played, some of these terrible teams at the bottom of the East, we wouldn't be as excited. But go find strength of schedule numbers. This has been a grueling 22 games and we are holding our own night in and night out.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right about that, Jeff. I mean, it feels so much better because we're playing teams that we wouldn't have even been able to stand toe-to-toe with last year. We have been competitive in some games. In some games, we've come out on top. We've been road warriors for the heck. We have 5 wins in our last
7 and 5 on the road.
7 and 5 overall. Signature win in Denver. We had a signature win. I'm getting away from the road all of a sudden, but the Celtics at home. I mean, we've played good teams. The Nets, we hung with them. We should
beat the Clippers on the road.
Should have beat the Warriors. Beat the Clippers on the road. I mean,
beat the Raptors on the road.
That one was fun. And that's what I'm talking about is those close games that we have been able to pull out of our butt. Teams of the past, Cleveland Cavalier teams of the past, may have not been able to handle that adversity, but we do in all these games. And a lot of these games that are on the road, I'd like to look at a statistic because I'm curious before, obviously, this Dallas and this Miami game, how close the point differential was in those road games that the Cavaliers were on. Beat New York Knicks in New York, another big win, and we won that handily. But we've won a lot of close games on the road in enemy territory and hostile environment, and I think that kind of speaks as much volumes as you can. I would love to win by 30 points every game. You don't learn anything in those games, though. Yeah. The Cavaliers have learned so much because they've been battle-tested, not only by good teams, but also in good games, good NBA basketball. We have had the pleasure, we've had the honor of watching this year in Cleveland. It has not been Cleveland versus Detroit. It has not been Cleveland versus Orlando. It has not been who's a bad Western Conference team. I don't know. But off the top of my head, the Kings, sure. It hasn't been the Cavaliers versus the Kings. We've had the Cavaliers versus some of the very best, and we have gotten some damn good results.
Oh, baby. 30 minutes in. You're watching Cavs Encapsulated, the post-game pulse.
The post-game pulse.
If you've never seen this,
you shouldn't have.
You've never seen it because this is our first live stream. I hope we're doing pretty well. I don't want to go too long. I kind of had a 30 to 40 minute range in my head, but man, am I having a lot of fun. Loving chat. We got our first mod, Logan.
Can I do a little show and tell real quick?
Sure, let's do it. We got merch. Justin, where's the hoodie? Come on.
These babies came in today, guys.
Oh, the shorts.
I threw it in the wash.
Listen, everybody is
You're
loving
wearing it for the last one, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's loving these jerseys, and believe me, I will definitely get one. Don't sleep on these shorts, guys. Definitely go over to cavsteam.shop, cavsteam.com, what the heck it's called, cavshop.com.
Stop shouting them out. We're not affiliated.
We're not affiliated, but I'm just saying, man, get your Cavaliers gear because damn it, I can't wear any more Browns crap. That's for sure.
You know what? You know what? I don't care if we're not affiliated, but damn it, I need more fucking GV art clothes that's basketball related, dude. I tweeted at them. I'm like, man, can I get a Darius? I tried. I tweeted at them. They liked and retweeted.
Can we get a Cleveland Pulse GV art?
They tweeted back at me and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get you like a Garland.
I did see that. We need Mobley collabs. We need Mobley in stores, Lakewood, Ohio. We're totally drifting off, and I love it because
that's the beauty of the post.
I texted pregame and nobody responded, and I'm getting salty. The fall of grace that were the 2016 sleeved black. Somehow the sleeved black jerseys were so hard because of all the good memories. I'm bringing it up again. Is our black uniform just the worst uniform we have? I personally think it is.
I have always just had a thing for black jerseys. I think,
but the number in the logo
looks stupid. Yes, and you have the freaking tire.
This is Justin's expertise. Justin,
do not get me started on the black jerseys. I always love black jerseys. You know who just got black jerseys that I should have had? St. Edward Eagles. Yep. Guess what? I never got to wear a black jersey, and they're sick.
Are sweet.
I'm so pissed about that. I got the gold jerseys though; those were sick.
That's true,
dude. We need to go back to the sick blue jerseys that
Navy
we had.
Blue,
in the past.
give it to me.
Yes,
and like, listen, I know orange isn't like technically an official color of the Cavs or anything, but that jersey that we had back with Kyrie and LeBron, the orange jerseys, the throwback ones that we wore, those were sick. I mean, I just feel like we don't have like our technical like home and away and our alternate
identity with the jerseys.
I think they're the worst in the league. Like they're just very bland.
Come on,
they're so bland, man. Our city jerseys are amazing this year, but our city jerseys in the past have also sucked. We've had the worst jerseys in the league for so long.
Hold on, I got some eyesore jerseys.
Hold on, I'm plotting.
Left, they're so bad.
I'm plotting.
Are you gonna pull up those jerseys you sent us?
No. Okay. Chat. Here we go. Chat and boys. Let's talk about a real life. Let's talk about the guy that she told you not to worry about moment. Let's talk about this for a second.
Yes, exactly. Hold on.
Don't
jerseys.
Don't look. Don't look too long. You might go blind because that is terrible. Now let's transition. Bam. Wow.
Man, that's just gorgeous. Yeah.
That's a big upgrade.
Simple is better sometimes, man.
Simple.
What changed in the last 3 years?
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Legitimately, what changed in the last 3 years in the marketing for the Cavs? I mean, obviously, listen, we didn't have the greatest of teams to market anything. Now we do, but I don't know who comes up with some of these things.
This is what I want. I like always the dashes that we have, the gold, wine, and white dashes. We went away from them on our home and away jerseys. Now they're just like the simple like stripe that down the side of the jersey. The black one really doesn't have much character at all. In fact, they have those gray stripes for the tire marks for Goodyear or whatever. Great. But I think just that classic look. I like the rebrand going classic. I like what Atlanta did going back to their old Hawks uniform.
That's what we kind of did. And here's the best of all of it. Our marketing team said, yeah, let's go with these old wine jerseys with the old logo and the old court, and knocked it out of the park. And then all of the marketing is this.
Oh, come on. Don't do my guys like that. Come on.
He's wearing, why is he wearing red?
He doesn't even wear that shirt.
He wears white.
I know.
I'm 100% convinced that they came in, the players came in one day and it's like a shoot around or whatever. So they're wearing whatever. He's probably wearing that t-shirt to their shoot arounds. And they're like, hey guys, we need you to do a photo shoot with the new jerseys. And Garland just left.
Look at him.
Come on, mate. Stop.
Look at him. Why does he look like that?
I left my compression shirt at home. It's in the wash.
Why are we dogging?
It's like my hoodie. It's in the wash.
No, I'm not dogging it. I'm just saying. No, totally off topic. Okoro's has gone with the poof and he's been playing better. He was rocking the braids And I think that it's a culture thing too, because we saw
Garland
switched it first, and
Yeah.
that's when he started. I mean, he was always playing great, but
Yeah.
we got some character on this team. It's night. Let's wrap it up with that. How fun is it to have a little bit of character on this Cleveland Cavaliers? You know, it's not, it goes back to the play. It's fun to watch, and it's like it's nice to be good without a superstar, without an all-star. We don't, it's not 2015, 2016 where we're banking on LeBron to score 38 points in a regular season game to beat Miami without Bam and Jimmy Butler, because that's something that would have happened because J.R. Smith was taking a night off and Iman Shumpert was on whatever Dancing with the Stars, and Kyrie was I'm done with Kyrie, but how nice is it to have character in this team?
Yeah, it goes back to what I said, is just it's somehow more enjoyable to watch because you like to watch a team play together, and a team that, honestly, here's the thing that I'm going to say. It's nice to be out of the limelight for a little bit, not always like every little move, a little altercation at practice or a little tweet that this guy had all of a sudden is on ESPN and Stephen A. Smith is ripping us apart. No, it's just, hey, these guys are really good at basketball, and that's all they do. They put their head down. They like playing with each other. They're friends, and that's all it is. We don't have to hear the constant trade rumors. We're talking from game 22, and I don't want this to come back and bite us when all of a sudden.
But 22 games in, there's been no Super Bowls thrown.
No,
22 games in. No one's thrown a Super Bowl in the locker room.
No one's taken a locker that wasn't theirs. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It's truly just a team that is focused on basketball, focused on succeeding for this city, a city that could use it right now, and pretty much always could use it every year. Us Cleveland fans will always love our teams, win or lose. But I tell you what, it's more fun to cheer them on when they win. That's exactly what the Cavaliers are doing as a team.
NBC Sports has us ranked 30th with our jerseys. Worst to best. 30th.
Let it go.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
When are we due for our new jersey change? That's all I'm saying.
Years.
Never.
This team has the character now. We have Darius Garland at the end of the third quarter, losing the ball, pulling a Steph Curry, drilling a three, just having a good old time. New jerseys.
That's almost as bad as I don't know if it was ESPN. Somebody had the top 10 young cores in the NBA and left Cavs out. So we got some bad. I mean, you could tell though, especially when I just fly onto Twitter, you could tell who watches the games. You could tell who's people saying Evan Mobley's, he's just a stat line, whatever. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like people have covered the NBA in this landscape and they don't even think our defense is that good because they don't think anyone's defense is that good. But it's been a blast. It's been 40 minutes. I think we're coming to a conclusion here. We really do appreciate every single person who has been in the live stream, who's contributed in the chat. We're going to try to get to everybody, when we do stuff like this. We're going to try to be more scheduled. Unfortunately, this is not every single game. This isn't going to be an every single game type of thing. That's why we have the Tuesday show, because our schedules really just are that swamped, and it's tough getting 3 people together. So, it's been Cavs Encapsulated, the post-game pulse. I'm Jeff, for Logan, for Justin. 111-85 victory in Miami. First time since 2011. First time, I couldn't even tell you what I was doing the last time we won in Miami, being so young. So that's going to be all for us tonight. We appreciate you guys hanging around for the ride. And make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop a comment. And go Cavs.
Let them know.